next year it will also be there. This is a very common question. Simultaneous equations, they come when you write maths paper 1, the first page.
First page.
Now, we have got 7 marks there. If you can manage to do this question here, you'll be smiling on this.
So I can do the question.
Alright. The idea can I have your attention? In grade 10, you are solving simultaneous equations that were both linear equations. Now in grade 11, one will be linear, the second one will be quadratic in 2 variables. So in order to solve this, you must make x or y the subject in the linear equation, which is this one here. This is your linear equation. So what you do is look at whether x is a coefficient which is equal to 1 or y is a coefficient which is equal to 1. So my suggestion, make y the subject there, because the coefficient of y is a -1. So I can take the -1 to the right, take the 1 to the left. If I do that, I'll get 3x minus 1 equal to y, and I can write this as y equal to 3x minus 1. You will get 1 mark for that. In actual fact, that will be equation 3. Okay? Because this quadratic, we call it equation 1, that one equation 2. Let me just label them. So this is my first equation, that will become my second equation. The third equation is actually the second equation, but simplified by making y the subject. So you get 1 mark for making x or y the subject. The next mark will be putting the right hand side of equation 3 where there is y in equation 1. That's the substitution mark. So the substitution mark means you say x squared plus 2x. Where there is y, you put 3x minus 1. Okay? Where there is y, put 3x minus 1. Okay? Then you square that. Minus 7. So the second mark will be here for substitution. Okay? The second mark will be for substitution. Now, let's simplify this. Okay? It will become x squared plus 6x squared minus 2x equal to. Now, at this stage, this one here, you get a perfect square trinomial. Okay? How do you get the perfect square trinomial? Alright, because of the bracket, I'm going to do it this way. Square this 3x. You get 9x squared. Right? There's a minus here, so you must put a minus. Okay, I'm going to show you how to simplify that without using FOIL. Then you multiply the 2 terms, the 3x and the 1. What do you get?
That's 3.
I put the negative already. So 3x times 1 gives you what? It gives you 3x. Then you multiply that 3x by 2.
So this one is confusing. What is it?
You get what? 6x. Okay? Don't worry, I'm not doing it the way you want, the long way. Then you square the last term, you get positive what? 1. Let's do it the way you want. I'm going to just do it here. So it's 3x minus 1 times 3x minus 1. If you can't do it mentally as I just did, because there is no mark for using FOIL. I want you to be aware of that. There is no mark for using FOIL, but it helps to get the correct answer. So 3x times 3x will give you what? 9x squared. 3x times minus 1, you get 3x. Minus 1 times 3x, you get what? 3x. Minus 1 times minus 1, you get positive 1. Here you get your negative 6x, which is what I got there. Okay? Okay? Hello? Okay? So that becomes minus 7. You following? Then we can simplify here, we get 8, so 7x squared. So that will be 7x squared minus 2x equal to 27x squared minus 18x plus 3 minus 7. Right? Then I'm going to take these two terms here from the left to the right. If I do that, I'll get 0 equal to 20x squared. That will give me minus 16x. Right? 3 minus 7 will give me negative 4. Fortunately, there's a common factor, which is a 4. So I can write 0 equal to 5x squared. You can put the 4 there. Minus 4x minus 1. Okay? Are you following? Then, divide both sides by 4, you end up having this quadratic equation. Okay, by the way, you may get a mark here, just to remind you, here, or you could get a mark on the next step that I'm going to write. So my quadratic equation is going to be 5x squared, going to be 5x squared minus 4x minus 4x minus 1 equal to 0. Now it is your choice here whether you want to factorize that. I'm going to try and factorize it. Okay, so my coefficient of x squared gets a 5. The constant term is minus 1. So 5 times minus 1 gives me negative 5. Which two factors of minus 5 add up to minus 4? Minus 5 in what? Plus 1. So I can write it as 5x squared minus 5x plus x minus 1 equal to 0. Then I'll get 5x times x minus 1 plus 1 times x minus 1 equal to 0. Remember, the objective is once you factorize there, okay, from this step here, once you take out a common factor, you create this binomial factor. You must also create the same binomial factor here. Okay? Following? Yeah. Okay? Then, once you get here, you should be smiling. So that will be x minus 1 times 5x plus 1. Now, I want you to be aware that you get a mark for the factors. There is a possibility that if you don't get a mark here, you have to get the mark for the standard form here. Okay? So far we've got how many marks? Officially it should be 4 now. Okay? They're supposed to be 4. Let me repeat because it's very important for you to know how this is marked. 1 mark for the y equal to 3x minus 1. The second mark for substitution. The third mark will be for the quadratic equation in standard form. The fourth mark is for the factors. So we've got 4 marks so far. If it happens that you make a mistake, say here, then you substitute correctly, you carry on nicely, you will lose 1 mark in total. If you don't make any other mistake, for a question like this, you can get 6 out of 7. You make 1 silly mistake. Okay? So we are here now. Okay? So this becomes x minus 1 equal to 0, or 5x plus 1 equal to 0. So this will give you x equal to 1, or x equal to minus 1 over 5. Okay. And then you are not done. Some learners, they will stop here. They will think they are in grade 10. You found x values. You need to find the what? The y value. In total, you must have 4 answers. 2 for x, 2 for y. I hope at least no one in this among all of you here is going to forget from here. Because it's a common mistake. Due to the exam pressure, the person is solved to get the values of x and then says, I'm done. You are not. You need to carry on. Okay, so when x is equal to 1, go back to y equal to 3x minus 1. So that would be y equal to 3 times 1 minus 1. You get 2. Right? Then when x is equal to minus 1 over 5, you get y equal to 3 times minus 1 over 5 minus 1. This will give you y equal to minus 3 over 5 minus 1. and this will give you minus 8 over 5. Okay? And then you can say now I've covered the question. I suspect this question here you get, for the y value you get 1 mark, for the x value you get 1 mark. Right, so we're left with another mark. So we are 7 in total. Okay, so let's see. You might get another mark for substituting to get the y values also. Okay, that could be another, or for simplifying, maybe here. But the total will be 7. But generally, a question like this is supposed to be 6 marks. Yes. Obviously, if you may make a silly mistake, then you might end up losing a mark for the y part. Yes, sorry?
Yes.
Sometimes you can have a substitution here. You see here, I made y the subject, right? I could have made x the subject. If you do that now, you end up having fractions, and that can create problems. But if it happens that the equation does not have a coefficient of x or y which is equal to 1, then you have no option. You have to work with those fractions. You can do that at home. That's challenging. Right? I'm not here to teach you how to do fractions. Okay. All right. Any question? Let me do nature of roots. Nature of roots. Can I have your attention? All right. With the nature of roots now, all you have to do is determine whether the roots or the solutions, they are also called the zeros of a quadratic equation. So the word roots means the solutions, it also means the zeros. Later when you do the quadratic function, it also means the x-intercepts of a quadratic function. Okay? Now, when you talk about nature of roots, all we are saying is we need to know whether the roots of the quadratic equation or the solutions are real numbers or not. Are they rational or irrational? Are they equal or not? Okay? That's all. So we use the discriminant. And that discriminant we get it from the quadratic formula, x equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now your discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. This is equal to delta. Delta is the notation used for the discriminant. Okay? Delta is the notation used for the discriminant. The concept of a discriminant is very important because it has got applications in other topics, usually functions, later on. So that b squared minus 4ac, okay, it has got different values when you are doing calculations. If it's equal to 0, then you get one root twice. Okay? If you get 0 inside the bracket, the square root means the square root of 0 becomes what? 0. So you've left x equal to minus b over 2a. Okay? You get two solutions that are equal if the discriminant is equal to 0. The discriminant can also be a perfect square, like a 25, 81, 36, and so on. In such a case, you get two roots that are real numbers and they will be unequal. Okay? They will be unequal and they will be rational as well. If b squared minus 4ac is not a perfect square, you get two roots that are real, but they will be irrational and they will be unequal. Okay? So let's do that here. Let's do this question. If 2 is the root, it means 2 is the solution of that quadratic equation, but we don't know what the value of k is, so we need to find that value of k. Now, it's not complicated. All you have to do is substitute x equal to 2 into that quadratic equation. So we have 7x squared minus 2k minus 1 times x plus k plus 9 equal to 0. We want to find the root, sorry, not the root rather, but the value of what? Of k, given a root which is equal to 2. So where there is x here, you put what? 2. It's not complicated. So that's 2k minus 1 times 2 plus k plus 9 equal to 0. We want to solve for k. So this gives me 28, and that one gives me minus 4k plus 2 plus k plus 9.
What is so much for?
I'm correcting myself, guys.
Wait, we have this minus here. This minus here. 2 times minus 1 gives you a negative 2. What about this minus?
Oh.
It gives you a plus.
Wait. Hold up.
Yes.
Where did you get the 2 you did today?
Oh, that's it.
Can you stop that? 2 squared. 2 squared is 4, right?
Yeah, no, I made the vision about what it is.
Yeah, 4 times 7 is okay. Then here you get minus 3k. 28 plus 2 gives you 30. Okay, 30 plus 9 will give you what? 39 equal to 0. So you end up getting minus 3k equal to minus 39. You divide both sides by minus 3. So your k is going to be 30. Okay? I have used the root that's given. Okay? I have used the root that's given. You don't have to get scared. Substitute the root into the given equation, simplify and solve.
So what is the root?
Remember, the root is a value of x. Don't forget that.
Oh, yes.
When you solve a quadratic equation, you get 2 roots. For this question, we are given what? 1 root. Because the quadratic equation is an unknown letter k that we have to find. To find that letter k, we use the given root to find the letter k by substituting x equal to 2. That's what I have done here. It's not complicated. Then 2.2.2 says show that the product of the 2 roots is an approximation of pi. Right? Can I have your attention? Now, the second part of the question means we need to determine the second root. We need to find the second root. Now, to find the second root, we substitute this k where there is k there, and then we simplify. So let me move on to the next page. Okay? So, I'm going to write my equation is 7x squared minus, open bracket, 2 times 13 minus 1, right? You following that?
So now, so we don't substitute the 2.
No. Times x, okay? Times x. We don't substitute the 2, we are only substituting the k now because we want to get the original quadratic equation. Where there is k there, I'll put 13 plus 9 equal to 0. Then we need to simplify here. So we get 7x squared, that's 26 minus 1 gives me what? 25. So we end up having minus 25x. Then 13 plus 9, that will give me 22. So plus 22 equal to 0. Now my suggestion, don't try to factorize, just use the quadratic formula. So I'll say x equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. What am I trying to do? Determine the second root. I know that the first root is a 2. What is the second one? I don't know. I need to find it. Okay? So, my b is negative 25 plus or minus the square root of minus 25 squared minus 4 times a, which is 7, times c, which is 22. Okay? All over 2a, which is 2 times 7. Now, this will give me 25 plus or minus. What is 25 squared? That's 625. Am I right? I think so. Right. Then 22 by 4 gives me 88. What is 88 times 7? 8 times 7. 616 all over 40. Now 625 minus 616 will give me a 9. So this is quite interesting. So I'll get 25 so minus the square root of 9 over 40. Okay? So that's x. Now this is very interesting because we have got a perfect square inside fit as our discriminant. We've got a perfect square. So we'll get two roots that are real, they are rational, and they are unequal. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Our discriminant is this 9. It's a perfect what? Square. Therefore, our roots will be real. Already we know that one of them is what? 2, which is a real number. So let me move on to the next page. How do I know what? How do I know the name of the perfect square? Okay, so this becomes x equal to 25 plus or minus 3 over 14. Now, check this out. Can I have your attention? We have got the 25 plus 3 over 14. This will give us what? 2. We have got that 2 already. 25 minus 3 over 14. So here we'll get x equal to 2. We are not worried about this x equal to 2 because we are given already the page. We are mainly concerned with this answer. Okay? So the second one will be x equal to 22 over 14, which is equal to 11 over 7. Right? Now the question says, show that the product of the two roots is approximately equal to pi. Remember, pi is equal to 3,14. Dot dot. Okay, look at the question. The question says, show that the product of the two roots. What are the two roots? One of them is 2. The second one, I got it, it's what? It's 11 over 7. So if I multiply the two roots, I must get an answer which is approximately equal to pi. And what is pi? 3,14. So if I multiply, so therefore I'll say 2 times 11 over 7. What do you get? That's what? You get 22 over 7. Right? Which is the pi that we are taught in what? Lower grade. Okay? Remember that. Which is equal to pi. Remember you were taught that pi is 22 over 7 lower grade. Okay, let me carry on. Can I carry on? Alright, so we have finished.